What's up, everybody? This is Miss G. How is everybody tonight? Ooh, I lost you. Did I lose y'all? I lost folk on the live. Okay. All right. I'm back. I'm back. How are y'all? Welcome. This is Miss G. Welcome to Let's Talk, Travel, and Live in Africa. This is the Cameroon edition tonight. I hope everyone is well. My name is Gloria. Welcome to my live on Facebook, and hello, people on YouTube, 50 Shades of Glow. We are here to get educated about Africa, the motherland, the land of everything originated. And I thought about something last week during Martin Luther King celebration and his speech that we always hear when he said, one day we're going to get to the promise, we're all going to get to the promised land. And it started making me think, what did he mean? We assumed that he meant that America was the promised land. But has America really been the promised land? We have been trying to fit the square peg in a round hole. So it's time to make some decisions with the options we have. So I want to welcome everyone. I am a travel consultant, a certified travel consultant, and event planner. So I put trips together. I've worked for American Express and with this Platinum and Centurion clients. So I know geography. And I want to welcome y'all. Welcome y'all. Welcome y'all. So anyway, let's get into talking about Cameroon. All right. Cameroon is in Central Africa. And it borders Gabon, Chad, the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Nigeria. It borders all of that. And they have it nicknamed as like the mini Africa. And the reason why it is because it has everything that all of Africa has, but it has it in the small space. So it has the savannah, the beaches, the jungle, the mountains, every single thing it has. So, it's the tropical. So it's a lot of it is very untouched. Hi there, Crystal. Hey, Miss Paulette. Welcome. It has so many of these beautiful resources, and most of them are untouched. So they call it, the small Africa. And 40%, Christina, welcome. 40% of Cameroon is tropical forest. They have so much wildlife. So, from what my research and the feedback that I have received, I know my niece went to Cameroon and she lived like very native. She lived in the bush. She lived cousin. She lived like the locals. She would well, did I hear from her? I didn't hear from her because there was no phone service. But she said it was an experience. She said if she went back, she would definitely be going to the capital. She will not be doing in the bush because she said she ain't seen a toilet. So that was hilarious to me. But she said it was a great experience, right? So what else does it have? It has over 19 national parks. It has beaches. It has savannas. It has the jungle. It has mountains. It has every single thing that all of Africa has. Cameroon has it in a smaller space, right? So what else? Um, Oddly enough, it has a lot of people. It has almost 30 million people. It's 29 million people, but most of them, a lot of them are spread out, in the savannas. And but Dola is the capital, and they have different, yeah, they have different resources there, as the rest of Africa does. Like I said, hey Nazinga, like I said, Africa is basically a big diamond or a big piece of gold, like seriously. um the resources in Cameroon. Who has gone to Cameroon? Anybody in the chat? Put a one in the chat or come on camera if y'all have been to Cameroon. Who has been to Cameroon? Who has been? And I'm sorry, I'll be doing like this because I'm looking at YouTube and then I'm looking at Facebook. Sorry, y'all. I'll be like this. Yeah. So who has been to Cameroon? Put a one in the chat if you've been to Cameroon or if you are from Cameroon. Are y'all from Cameroon? Anybody from Cameroon? Because I always want to get the feedback. I always want to do a fact check. Always want to do a fact check. But anyway, so resources. I love to talk about the motherland's resources, right? They call it the motherland for a reason. It's not just like a little trend term. Africa is called the motherland because it's the mother of everything. It's the origination of everything. And that's what we need to understand as a people, that everything came from Africa, period. So this is what the resources, and a lot of these resources are still untapped in 2024. Oil, gas, gold, bauxite, iron ore, diamonds are in Cameroon. Okay. Then they have the forestry. They have the beautiful 40% is tropical land forest, tropical. So you have, if you want to go there to do bird watching, so Cameroon is a great place as a visitor or for your travel if you're into eco travel. Beautiful, because you're able to see all of the ecosystem at its best. So I'm not a snake person, but they have the snakes that probably eat the mosquitoes, that eat the this, they eat the that, but they have lions. They have lions, they have snakes, they have baboons, they have the elephants, they have the gorillas, they have all of those animals in its natural habitat. The interesting thing is, and y'all know I always give y'all some tea, like some real tea, right? So the elephants, right? So they have different species of elephants. Now the elephants in a lot of African countries are very protected because of the poaching. We know that China is in most of the elephant. I mean, not in the elephant, in the African countries, investing in infrastructure. But this was interesting to find out that in Cameroon, a lot of the poaching is done from China, illegal poaching, because poaching is illegal everywhere. Hey, Bridget, welcome. Poaching of elephants, because they're an endangered species, is illegal, but there are still poaching going on illegal. And the ivory from their tusks, because that's all that they want, is the ivory. The ivory is very valuable. but they have to kill. They can't just break the tusk off. They have to kill an entire elephant to get the tusk. Whack, right? Whack. And they have the tusk in China that, but it's illegal. It's under the table. So, and they said that at least 20,000 elephants get killed per year illegally with the illegal poaching. I feel sad about that, and I'm very disappointed that China is, taking part in that behavior, because usually, they're doing other stuff, but they're stealing the resources. Like every place, it's so exhausting. Steal from Africa. Steal the gold, the South African or the people, the Europeans or whoever, take the diamonds from South Africa, and then everybody walking around with a cell phone. Cell phones. Y'all see this? If it wasn't for Africa, cell phones would not be able to function. So, yes, Steve Jobs, you designed the concept, but for it to work, the minerals, or yes, the mineral that's in the lithium battery that goes in the major part to have the cell phones working, comes from Africa, comes from what's it? Congo. And they have um it's the mining. Yeah. And they steal the diamonds and they steal the gold, and they have the oil exports, but they have forestry, is one of big resource, like I just mentioned. Beautiful parks, beautiful parks to visit. Yvette, thank you so much for visiting. Welcome to Talk Travel and Move to Africa. We're talking about Cameroon. And what else? 19 national parks. One of their major, most popular park is Karoo National Park. It's so untouched. If you want to go bird watching, beautiful, see the wildlife, just absolutely gorgeous. So, what I found, Cameroon is not like the poppin' sexy place like, you know, Botswana, Rwanda, Kenya, Nigeria. But it's still a chill place. Um, Deidre, welcome. Um, yes, so it's still a chill place to go if you really want to experience the whole traditional African experience, because you can get that. Like I said, my niece traveled and she said, yeah, it was two. I asked her, I said, do you want to come on and talk about your experience in Cameroon? And she went like with like a boyfriend's relative or something like that. And she was saying, no. That'll mess up your brain. She said that'll mess up what your goal is, to tell people about how wonderful Africa is, because I did the other side. I did, so she just made me laugh. She just made me laugh. But you go there and you live off the land. She says she saw like an animal get killed, and like was it a goat? Yeah, it was a goat. They stripped the goat, ate it for dinner, all that type of stuff. That's pretty interesting. I didn't see that, but I knew it happened when I was in Kenya. I had um, my friend was having a birthday party, and he said that he was going to go. Him and his friends was going to go and get a goat for the party and cook it. And they came back and they had a goat and they cooked it, the whole goat. and it was good. It was good. It was good. They had went and got the goat earlier that day, killed it, stripped it, whatever, and it was the grill and they cooked the goat, and it was very good. Very, very good. Curry goat. Wah, 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 wah. So anyway, um, so in Dula, that is the capital, they have different places that, you live kind of Western, very nice living. Okay. Um, there is a lot of the other folk there. Like, I don't understand. If you don't like us, why y'all be coming to our place? But they said the exclusive places in Dula, like it's called Bono Priso. That's like a very exclusive area. They said it's a whole bunch of white folks that live there. Um, that's what you're gonna see. Just on side note, anybody in the chat, who in the chat has been to the motherland or planning to go this year? Put 2025 in the chat, or 2026, whatever year you plan on going to the motherland, or if y'all have been. And if y'all have been, because this is interactive, y'all, and also sharing is caring, sharing is caring, sharing is caring, sharing is caring. Please share, just push that share button, because what we want to do is not have your friends be questioning you about how safe Africa is when they don't have a passport. Oh, this is Bud Day. I'm ready for shade. But yeah, so invite folk on. Just press the share button. We definitely want to spread the word. We want to be intentional with everything this year, and then just discussing how the beautiful continent of where we are from. I'm going to repeat that. The beautiful continent of where we are from, not where we were born, but where we are from. We need to know more and more and more so we can get comfortable again. We can get comfortable. What else? Yeah, it's Cameroon is just like a typical chill African country, and as I mentioned earlier, it's bordered by Equatorial Guinea, the Congo, Chad, like those places. But it has everything because it does border. It has beaches, um, and they have great agriculture also as a resource, where they grow cocoa, coffee, bananas, and what else did they do? It was bananas, coffee, cocoa, and I can't even recognize my writing. But anyway, the savannas are beautiful. The um, what else do they have? They have the savannas, and the deserts is just drop dead gorgeous. Does anybody have any questions so far? We're going to talk about, as we love to hear, how much it costs to live there. Now, the cost is, it's all relative, but people are saying it was expensive, but no. Um, it's about average of what it's been. So it's about 70. Oops, I keep dropping. I am so sorry. It's about 70%. I'm sorry about that. It's about 70%. I keep dropping. Sorry, y'all. It's about 70% less um, to live there than the United States, and not the United States, Atlanta, New York, the United States, right? So the cost of living for one person per month is right about $750 for one person. For a family of four, is about $2,600. That's average living. If you want to be chilling, probably about 20% higher, not that much. And really and truly, the number may seem high, but for what we spend, um, I went to a two-bedroom in Atlanta, they're $2,600 just for rent. Um, Groceries. So it's been so funny because we've been talking about eggs this week, right? Eggs are carton of eggs are $1.96 average to eat at a restaurant, about $5 to $8. So the cost of living very very cheap. So rent for a one bedroom is starts around 400 $400 a month average, and then a three bedroom averages about $1,200 a month. And of course, how you pay for that? You pay for it. You pay for it through what I be telling y'all. I'm just going to start this at the top. The number one, right? The number one profession for you to do remotely is being a teacher, y'all. So teachers, educators, and I'm telling you, when you go to these other countries, the kids are on a whole nother level. The kids want to learn. The kids appreciate learning. The families appreciate education. It's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different vibe, and they respect teachers like, I mean, the respect that they have for educators. So you get a lot of perks being a teacher in other countries. You usually get housing and you get other perks. Sometimes, you get salary, no taxes, like so many things. So the number one is teaching, and you can do it in the classroom or you can do it online. You can do tutoring, and I think all you need is like that. It's the certification, the TEFL. I'm not in education, so I don't know um, the proper term. But if you have your degree whatsoever, and if you're tutor, as long as you take the certification, you can tutor. Other things are NGOs, and NGOs, don't sleep on NGOs. NGOs be paying, and the reason why NGOs be paying because we don't be doing NGOs. Other folks doing NGOs. So NGOs is non-governmental organizations. So it's like the what's the name of that? It's not a non-profit, but it's not non-government. It's like the Peace Corps, like the Peace Corps, and um, organizations like that that's supposed to be humanitarian. And you have uh, positions like project administrator, manager, or whatsoever. Um, Also, in countries, developing countries, they really respect the organizational skills that come from the West. So, one thing that is a plus, we do have that because I've run into doing business. I'm like, in certain situations that is so normal to us, in banking or, dealing with your attorney whatsoever, you're like, what? Like, you need to follow up, you need to follow procedure, and they kind of follow procedure, but really don't. So people that are in HR, there are opportunities for consultants to consult businesses on, refining the structure of their business. And all of this is good because Africa is growing economically like the speed of light, I guess, right? Faster than we think. And because one, there's a lot of investment in Africa. Number two, A lot of people are traveling to Africa, so they're getting mega tourist dollars. You remember when the focus was on the Caribbean. Now, folks, especially from the West and a lot of Black Americans, they are taking their money and traveling to Africa in droves. Have anybody seen the pictures and the videos of the groups that go to Ghana and different places? It's crazy. It's crazy that the money that's going over to Africa, and the economists have reluctantly admitted that within the next 2 decades, the next round of millionaires and billionaires and in African money trillionaires will be coming out of the continent of Africa. So the time is now to get positioned because it's blooming. What you don't want to do is come after everything is done. Like everyone wants to run to Ghana, and Ghana is still a good place now, but in 5 years it's going to be outpriced. So, what I would encourage that um, you start to make your steps, you start to prepare, you start to downsize, start to sell different start to sell off stuff and downsize, if you are thinking about doing a transition. And why not? Really, why not, when you can have a better quality of life? You don't have to deal with the craziness that we are, every day it's something new. And this is January. This is the first month out of 48. It's really scaring me, y'all. I don't know. Do y'all agree? Put a yes in the chat if y'all agree. Y'all are scared. It's from the time the clock struck 12 on January 1. It's been off the chain. And that makes me feel very uncomfortable, very, very uncomfortable. So we got to make a plan, y'all. We got to make a plan. Anybody want to come on? Anybody have any questions or want to say something? I am here. Hey, YouTube, what is going on? Let me see what else about the Cameroon. Round trip. I told y'all it's in Central Africa. So Central and West, it's like right near Central West Africa. Round trip ticket, I always usually say from like Dulles is it can vary. It starts about 900 and can go up depending. So the earlier you plan, the earlier you can do. Oh, and by the way, the guide is out. The guide, step by step, is a 12-month step-by-step guide to repatriation. Hit the link down in the description. glampluxetravels. Just go to the store and it will lay out your plan for 12 months for you to get all of the information that you can, because what you don't want to do, this is very emotional, the time that we're going through. So I know several people that left in the last administration and just left, said, I'm done, I'm out. And then they struggle or they regret it, because they just jumped too quickly. Because for you doing the transition, moving from one state to another could be a lot, but you are moving from one continent to another. So you're going into a different, even though when you go to most of the African countries, they act just as westernized, especially if you're in the capital cities, but it's still a culture difference. Missy, hey girl, how was your weekend? Yeah, it's still a cultural difference. So You want to prepare yourself properly and do the steps. I personally have been on this journey since 2021. That's when I originally started. But when I decided to move to the continent, that was right after those babies got killed in Texas. And I was traveling before. I was like, okay, I can get out of here and travel. But after um those babies I said, I can't do this place no more. I just cannot, because it's every 6 months, every 3 months, whatever, is something. So let me establish, one will establish a peaceful existence for me in my years. I have more years behind me than in front of me at this point, and I want to enjoy them peacefully. My kids are grown, and I also want to finally establish some generational wealth that is almost impossible to do here in the United States. So um, I felt that I can probably get it done for my grandkids, for my children, because when my son was in boarding school, he would get invited by his friends to, their summer house that their grandparent that they had in their family for decades. And I'm like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. Oh, my grandkids could say, oh, do you want to come down? Blah, 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 blah. We got a house or whatever on the beach. Da, 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 da. I would love for my grandkids to say that. Wouldn't y'all love for your grandkids to say that, or your kids to say that, to establish generational wealth? So putting your feet back in Africa, you can achieve that because it's so expensive here. And it's not just us that's feeling the brunt. I run into a lot of other folk. And I told this story it's funny, not funny. And I heard it from two white people. And they said, well, I met, and they said that they're not sure. They're stuck between if they're going to buy a house, and they were 39, if they were going to buy a house or have children. And I said, well, children are more important than buying a house. And they made a point. They said, well, we can have children, but we don't want to raise them in an apartment, because after we have children, at the rate of inflation, we could never afford a house. And I was like, wow, you have a point. My neighbor is white, and they have a year-old baby. And I said, oh, they just celebrated their baby's birthday. I said, oh, y'all having another baby? And they said, nah, well, we don't want to raise our kids in an apartment. So it's deep. It's rough for everyone. I heard some folks in Whole Foods, two white guys. One looked like they an attorney, and the other one looked like he in IT. And they were in Whole Foods, and they were talking about, just like if they were housewives, about getting a generic soda. So it's serious, and we don't know where it's going. And with everything, it looks like 45, whatever his name is, went in and just was like on a mission to like tear down every single thing. What is it going to turn into? So I developed the guide based on my journey and the research and all the resources out there to give you a step by step guide on what you need to do to prepare yourself to go. But first, what I suggest, make sure you have your passport, all of y'all. I hope everyone has their passport that is on this live. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cousin, tell your sister, tell your mama, what the budget needs to say? Tell everybody, make sure you have your passport, because y'all don't know what can pop off. And if your passport is less than like, like a year old, try to uh, renew it as quick as possible, as soon as possible. What else? That's about it. This phone keeps falling. Um, that's about it with Cameroon today. This was short. Let me see. Did I forget anything about Cameroon? I talked about the rest of the positions. So teachers, NGOs, consultants, and of course, coming to build, start your own business. Cameroon is a perfect place to open businesses because a lot of the African countries don't have the businesses like what we have. Um, I had seen some people and they were talking about there's no movie theater in certain places. There's not a bowling alley, like little simple things like that. Coffee shops, um, internet. Like I'm thinking about doing an internet cafe, like a simple internet cafe, because a lot of people they use data and sometimes they run out of the data. So they can come to a place, they have coffee, almost like a Starbucks type of co-working space that they can come, they could work, they can chill out, they can have some coffee, and then you have like some what's the name machines, the little vending machines, but they pay for the data per hour while they're there. So it's all different opportunities. And this one I just found out, and I'm excited and prayerfully I get it, because it just gives me one foot to actually be there while I'm continuing to build my businesses and there. But I have shared in the I shared it in the chat, in the thread, and it was this young lady talking about jobs remotely, and she gave five companies. So then I saw a young lady put in the chat that one of the companies weren't hiring, and I had applied to that company, and I actually heard back from that company like in 2 or 3 days and had an interview with them. So if y'all run through, please apply anything. I'm loving, and I want to thank y'all so much for being part of Africa Awaits. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are y'all are so awesome. Oh, my phone is getting warm. Okay, sorry about that. Trying to connect my phone. Hey, YouTube. Well, I am going to end with y'all YouTubers, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Click the link in the description to get your guide to step by step 12-month repatriation. Y'all take care. Bye.